Hi, I'm with Lucia Dello from Dello Data Analytics, a fascinating firm and just a fascinating name, and I'm really looking forward to finding out today about your business. And look, thank you so much for coming along. It's really good to have you.
Thank you for inviting me, Pete.
Pleasure, Lucia. So tell us about your background and about Dello Data Analytics.
Yes, my background is I worked as a data analyst for financial organisations. I was there for 15 years, so it's a very technical role. And as a specialist, I built credit risk scorecards, looked at the lending policy, looked at whether the portfolios were performing, so I extracted large data sets, did segmentations on those.
Wow.
We also work with the policy teams and with the central risk function if we wanted to change something in the product team to get it all agreed, so it's quite varied what I did. When I was on maternity leave, I then moved to the Science Park, to a much smaller organisation that essentially had the same role again. So I set up their reporting, their analysis, and I worked 2 days a week. I was on part-time there and moved down to Faversham at the time. So after being there for 4 years, I left there in 2014 and then qualified as a bookkeeper, set up the analytical bookkeeper, and then in February 2019, I've then launched Dello Data Analytics.
Wow, so you've gone from working in the bank to becoming self-employed.
Yep.
Yeah. How did you find the transition from being employed to being self-employed?
I think I went kind of 2 phases. I went from this very, very big, large bank, you know, 30 analysts working the same as me, to being my own, suddenly setting up and running a department. And then I launched my own business. So I kind of had 2 journeys along my way. But launching the data analytics and being self-employed for the first time was a very big shock. So I'd never actually worked in bookkeeping, although I got the background and I qualified as a bookkeeper.
Sure.
You know, I actually learned that what do I do now? So I had to learn on the job while I was doing, while also learning all the aspects of running a business.
Right.
So it's a steep learning curve.
So you've gone from being in the bank to doing bookkeeping, and now you're going into the data analytics.
Yes.
What does that actually mean? I'm a little bit confused as to what it might be, so explain it to me.
Of course, well, even with my bookkeeping, I had planned to do bookkeeping and analysis, but what I actually found as I went on was I was collecting all this data, building all this information together, but then companies were really keen to actually extract the data, understand what it's telling them, so they could actually make informed decisions and also understand what's happening in the business. I felt I just wasn't getting to that when I was doing all the bookkeeping, so I separated it out. And Dello Data Analytics offers 3 main things, which actually offerings I can build specific reports for you, help you set up data dashboards to monitor your company in different dimensions, and also build forecasts for you. So it's really actually helping you understand what's going on in your business and actually make a change and then be able to measure it.
So I suppose from a layperson's point of view, it's like having a dashboard on a car, so you can actually see how speed you're doing, you know, if you've got enough petrol. So you're actually building a dashboard so that people have the information to make decisions.
Yes, and people are already collecting that information. They've got to do it for their requirements. You know, they're there, they're paying the accountants, they're paying people internally to get all this information together. But they're not then taking that information that 1 step further to actually use it to manage their business as well as they can. Because either they haven't got the time to do it, or they haven't got the skills, or they don't know exactly what they want to do with it. So it's really helping that mindset, think it through where you want to get to, how we can break that down into things we can achieve.
Nice.
And then obviously you do something, you measure it, you then think actually that didn't work, and then you can make a better decision next time. So it's a continuous process.
Cool. So Lucia, what's been the biggest achievement or the biggest success you've had in the business so far that you're really proud of?
I think for me is actually when my bookkeeping was going well and I was very, very busy with it, but I realised I wasn't getting to the analysis. I realised I wasn't helping all these people that wanted to do that. So I think it was actually taking the confidence, taking the risk to actually say, I'm going to reduce my bookkeeping down and really launch and go for this, because I think there's a success there to be had. And I think I can use that more to help people than with my bookkeeping. So I think for me it's growing confidence from never being self-employed to 4 years later actually doing that. And the second time round I had a nice big launch party. The first time I just turned on my computer and started work. So, you know, my mindset had really changed.
Great. So, you know, that's great, the biggest success. What's been the biggest challenge that you've had in setting up this business?
I think for me it's always time. You know, I've got the bookkeeping, I've got the data analytics I'm trying to set up, I've then got my family life, and I'm also a trustee of a local charity. So trying to fit that in, have some time for me. And for me, the only way I get there is I really set my priorities, and I know I won't achieve everything. I've got to be realistic about what I can and can't do. Yeah. And with data analytics, it throws a new challenge to me, in that I'm also trying to explain to people what I do, how they can use my services. So again, I need to get that out, marketing myself, and really try to explain to people in a way they can understand and see the value of exactly what value I can deliver.
Interesting. You know, many business owners we talk with have the same challenge of time, and it's you know, we talk about time management. It's actually about self-management, and with everything you're doing, I understand exactly why it's actually having to prioritise exactly what you say. So, hey, great. Can I ask, what differentiates you from your competitors. You know, I'm not sure how many competitors you are, so tell us about that.
I think that what I can do is I can bring together lots and lots of different things and then work it together to come up with something. So I can offer something that accountants can't do, the coaches can't do, the marketers can't do, but they all want their clients to get to. So they all want people, you know, to actually be able to progress their business and understand what's happening. And I could probably fill in the gaps where individually they know they want to do something, but they can't quite get there. So it's really that mindset where I can work individually with the business owner in a new and novel way to a way that they've had before, or I can work with other people trying to support them to actually deliver a solution that works for them so they can understand what's happening.
And how long, time-wise, if a client comes to see you before you can actually get the analytics or the dashboard to them?
But it's a very, very interactive process, and I'll come and meet with them, chat with them about what they want. They'll then send me some data, I'll work on the data and say to them, actually, I think this is right, if you've seen this, so I'll have another conversation. Then I'll go away, do a bit more, present some initial results. They might say, well, yes, that's good, but can you look at this as well or that?
Right.
So it's very much led by them. But in terms of doing the analysis, it probably isn't a huge amount of time. It's just a time process to actually go from start to finish. I don't take your data and give you an answer without discussing it with you. So for me, it's a very interactive process.
Fantastic.
And for some people, you know, that's a very small, quick win, or for other people, it's quite a long, complex project that needs breaking down into parts.
So, Mark, who would be your ideal client?
I think it's a mindset. Is someone knowing that they've got all this data sitting there or this change they want to make, but they can't get to the point of actually being able to define it, measure it, and then assess whether it's working or not. So for me, it's all this mindset. I want to change, I want to grow, and I want some support to get there by being able to see what's happening.
Fascinating. I think that's so important in so many business owners to have that right mindset as well. And I think that you're focusing on that is just really important for the business owner.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Wow, I think it's fantastic. Data analytics, isn't that just absolutely amazing? And I think it's wonderful that you're actually able to set this up, and you're based out of Faversham as well, which is really good. There's so many business owners that you can help. I'd just like to say thanks to Lucia for coming in today and letting us know about your background and also about your business. And I think there's a real benefit to what you are providing to business owners out there. So thanks, Lucia. It's been really neat.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very excited about it.
You should be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff.